Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Prayer that the Most High blesses this lesson this afternoon, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth, so we may get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. We're going to be getting into the Holy Spirit and how she was prophesied to go over the waters to Columbus in order to give him knowledge and understanding, in order to lead him over here to our lands. But in the end times, the Holy Spirit was to return over here to a particular place in order to give us our knowledge and understanding once again. It was prophesied that we were going to lose all of our knowledge and understanding. But it was also prophesied that the Most High was going to send the Holy Spirit, and she was going to give us that knowledge back. And Enoch knew where this was going to happen. And many of these people who said that Enoch, holds no validity, isn't true, you're going to see how in this book of Enoch here, it's not the regular one, it's a different one, talked about how it prophesied where the Holy Spirit was going to return to. And you're going to see that's exactly what has happened. So real quick, let's review about the Holy Spirit going over the waters to Columbus and to the Gentiles. And it came to pass that I looked and beheld many waters, and they divided the Gentiles from the seed of my brethren. And it came to pass that the angel said unto me, Behold, the wrath of the Most High is upon the seed of thy brethren. And I looked and beheld a man among the Gentiles, who was separated from the seed of my brethren by the many waters. And this is talking about Columbus, all right? And I beheld the Spirit of the Most High, that it came down and wrought upon the man. And he went forth upon the many waters, even unto the seed of my brethren, who were in the promised land. And it came to pass that I beheld the Spirit of the Most High, that it wrought upon other Gentiles, and they went forth out of captivity upon the many waters. And it came to pass that I beheld many multitudes of the Gentiles upon the land of promise. And I beheld the wrath of the Most High, that it was upon the seed of my brethren, and they were scattered before the Gentiles, and were smitten. So what we need to see here is that the Spirit was not just only on Columbus, but it was on the Gentiles at that time. The Most High blessed them with the Spirit to be able to find this place and to be able to take us down. Now, this was going to happen again here in our lands, in one place in particular, and we're going to get into that right now. And what you're going to see is, once you understand this, then you will understand why all the nations are turning against this place. Then you will understand many other things, why all the CEOs are running, why all the elites are running from this place. It will all begin to make sense. We're going to be getting into this book of Enoch right here. It's called the Book of Knowledge, the Keys of Enoch. I was turned on to this by one of the subscribers, emailed me a while ago. I read a little bit of the book. The book is very difficult to understand. There's many things that are just above my pay grade. But there are certain things that go hand in hand with what's going on right now, and that the Most High gives knowledge and understanding on his time. Okay? Now, we know that a lot of these books, like I said, just like the Book of Mormon, they'll put little things in here and there to kind of throw people off, and especially to keep our people out of them, talking about, how white people are superior, things like that. But like I said, we already know we need to look past a lot of that. And we know that the definition of white and black was switched up in the 1828 dictionary. So we're past that. We understand that. All we're looking for is the information. The stuff that, the here, there, here a little, there a little, the stuff that we can pick up in order to get more understanding right now. Now, what I'm going to show you right now is it's called the return of the dove. It's a it's a map, okay? And we know that the dove, that they use that to represent the Holy Spirit. Now, if you see the return of the dove, that would then imply that the dove went somewhere else. We know that the Holy Spirit was upon the Gentiles, but we know at the end that the dove was going to return back to the Most High's chosen people. The Holy Spirit was going to return back to the Most High's chosen people. Take a look at where the dove or the Holy Spirit was to return to. If you take a look right there, you got a lot of the United States. You got some of Mexico. You got some parts of Central America. But there would be your picture of the dove. And it says right there, areas of the Nephites to be activated. Now, many people will say, well, I don't co-sign with the book of Enoch. I don't agree with the book of Enoch. And that's your prerogative. But check this out. Where has most of the people who have been awakened, where has most of the teaching come from? Where have many of our brethren been awakened? This is camp brethren. This is people that are now outside of the camps. This is people who are going into even deeper knowledge in other books. Where has the vast majority of that come from? It's come from the Americas. The vast majority of the people that are in the truth, that have been teaching the truth, is coming from the Americas, which is exactly what this book said was going to happen. Because the return of the dove was she was going to return right here. Going to give us knowledge and understanding right here. Going to bring the first and second sticks together right here. Going to be teaching the four corners about the prophecies of the coming together of the two sticks right here. Yes, you might have a group here, a group there outside of this area. Yes, of course. But the vast majority of the teaching of the truth that has been awakened and has been spread is coming from this general area. Right? So now let's read I'm going to read a little bit talking about the activation of this area right here. Okay. Let's see. They will land upon the sands that were promised Abraham and the prophets of light, who speak of the sands of the righteous being carried to higher levels of star intelligence. These landing places are the basin areas, which were used by previous cycles of higher intelligence, and which contain the documents telling how these areas will be reactivated. Therefore, know the 12 major areas of light, okay, such as the Takla Makan Basin and Megiddo, which are aligned with the consciousness forces of the Great Pyramid and used by the celestial commands. Onto these 12 areas, cities of lights or stations of light technology will come down from the Milky Way, which will be as cities from the sea of crystal. For they will be brought down from stations in the heavens, such as Betelgeuse, Orion, a Bethel life station honoring the Father. So, as you can tell, the intelligence has been growing worldwide from this general area. And this is already prophesied a long time ago. The dove or the Holy Spirit, would leave us and go on the Gentiles, would bring the Gentiles here for a time in order to punish us for, falling away from the Most High. But at the end, the dove or the Holy Spirit, she would return back here and give knowledge and understanding, increase that light. Like I said yesterday, we are the light of the world. We are the ones that are now that these other churches have been shut down, now people are looking for the truth. And the Most High is raising up his people to be the light in the dark world. And that was already prophesied right here, that this is where that was going to be taking place. And like I said, even if you look at camps, even if you look at different groups, it originated right here. Even if it was set up by whoever, they knew that was going to be originating right here. The other books, the knowledge and understanding from the other books comes from right here. You see that? So this stuff is just because people don't want to believe in these other books or don't want to look at these other books. I said it's still being prophecy is still being bared out and brought forth, just like Enoch said it would, just in the places like it said it would. I've seen this actually mapped for a long time, but the Most High didn't have me bring it out, and He moved me to bring it out today, and bring this information out and this understanding out today. That's where this happened. The fullness of the gospel happened in America, in the United States of America. None of this stuff is a coincidence. It's a movie that's already been, played out. It's already been written out, and now it's just playing out, in the physical realm. But it's already been set up in the spiritual realm. Now I'm going to talk about a couple things now. We should make it a more understanding now that we know that the dove was going to return to the Americas. So now let's take a look at what is happening, and then take that in the context of what I just showed you right now about the dove returning to America. And now you'll understand why all these things are happening. The CEOs quit their multi-million dollar positions and are running. Now you know why. The elites who know the truth are running. Now you know why. People are getting ready to be evicted from these lands because they know that they were only here for a certain amount of time. Take a look at this. Just think about this. America doesn't have enough tests to be testing people for COVID-19. But the other countries seem to have thousands and thousands of tests. Why is that? Because they know that this isn't their land and they're about to be evicted. So they're going to take care of their own lands, their own inheritances. So they're going to make sure they're well prepared for everything that's going to be happening. But here, you get very little, preparedness. It's kind of like people just don't care. They just allow things to spread or whatever else. Now you see why. All right, where did it say everything's going to be activated? Right here. Okay? The whole world has turned against this place right here. The whole world has turned against this place right here. They're making their own agreements. They're working on doing oil things together. They're working on making a whole new economy without the Americas. Why is that? Because they know that the Americas are about to be returned back to the Most High's chosen people. And they're going to be removed, and they're not going to be allowed to be back over here again, just like it was before. The timing is impeccable. The timing only makes sense because now the return of the dove is now, once they realize that we started getting that knowledge and understanding back, they knew that the dove has returned and that the dove is waking up. She is waking up her people and preparing them to be able to receive their blessing once again, just like it talked about in Joel chapter 2. Once we got that second stick, once the Most High gave us that second stick back, like I said before, all bets are off. Now they knew their timing. Now they knew they had very little time left. So now all of a sudden, it's been imperative for all the other nations to come together to work against America. And now they're all worried about their own lands. Before they had no problem, working with America, even to the detriment of their own homelands. Now they're all worried about their own places because they know that's where they're going to be sent to. Is it all making sense now? It's all making sense as to why it is that this place is not important to them anymore, because they're not going to be allowed to rape, rob, and murder here anymore. It is a new year. It is a new era. And the Most High has his people in his hands once again. He's covering us in his hands and he's protecting us once again. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.